friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Holly with the Nestle Valley Farmhouse, and today I'm bringing to you a summer seasonal eating video. So kind of talking about how we've been doing, kind of focusing on more seasonal eating this year. And today's pretty much going to be all about strawberries because when this video comes out, it'll be right after we did a big strawberry pick, and and kind of talk a little bit about that and kind of what we've been doing to, just kind of, now that it's summer, kind of how our eating habits change over the year, I guess I should say. So there's my chickens enjoying they love strawberries. And so I give them all the leftover strawberry tops, which is really nice. So we kind of over the summer, I tend to not need to spend as much money on groceries because a lot of what I do, I call them fill-in orders. I got my garden going. It probably will be another couple weeks yet before I can start kind of harvesting from that. But I do know in the summer we eat a lot more fresh fruit. You see I got a big watermelon there. I normally get one of those probably every week because my kids absolutely love it. I am not a fan of watermelon, but I know I'm weird, but everyone else in my family loves it. So I feel like it's a really easy snack. And so also I am pretty much done with any of like my quote unquote stock ups. So I want to get a master list out for Costco. One of the ways that I try to kind of save money, work things out, is to kind of make it to where I buy certain things certain months, especially for like Costco. We don't really have any other shopping places except for Costco, Walmart, and then Safeway is kind of what I have in town or at least close to me. So that's what I normally use for kind of what where I spend my money. So I know we tend to eat a lot more. I try to do a lot more fruits and vegetables in the summer. We tend to have a lot more fresh things because, as summer goes on, we'll get more and more harvest out of our garden. And then I'm also going to start preserving. So today I am going to be making some strawberry syrup. Ended up making strawberry jam too. So just kind of preserving the strawberries that I got. But yeah, I really like summer. I feel like it helps me try to save money on our grocery budget over the year, especially because we're going to be getting our cow this fall. So basically whatever I don't spend that I normally would have just goes into savings so that I can have it prepped and ready for when we start getting our cow, which will be in, I think it's either the end of August, sometime in August. So I need to make sure I have money ready by I think August. So that's kind of how I guess kind of mentally think of it whenever I'm doing stuff like that. So we got really lucky. I have a really good friend whose uncle owns this big commercial strawberry farm. So how it works is they lease the land out to a strawberry farmer, and then they come through and they pick all the strawberries. And then at the very end of the season, when they are done picking and they're getting ready to till the fields in, basically the uncle calls my friend. He's like, hey, field's open for a few days. And we normally rush out there. So today was Thursday, and this is actually the night before. I literally was getting, we picked about 60 pounds of strawberries. And so the thing about these strawberries though is they are not the strawberries that you would just leave in your fridge and snack on over a few days. They're technically designed for ice creams. They go in yogurts, and also they're super ripe because you're picking them right at ripeness. So you have to kind of take care of them kind of right away. So I am exhausted. You can kind of probably see it in my face. I'm so tired, but I have to get these strawberries. Basically, I throw them in my sink, fill my sink up with water to kind of rinse them off, and then I cut off the tops, and then I prep them for the freezer because you kind of have to deal with them within a day or two, or they just start to go bad because they're that ripe. And like I said, they're not really the kind of strawberries that you're used to having for snacks, but they're free. So I make it work. I basically, every year we kind of pick as many strawberries as we can, and I will prep freezer bags and basically freeze a bunch of them so that we can pull them out throughout the year. One of my favorite things that I absolutely love to make in the summer is called strawberry pizza, and it's basically a sugar cookie crust, a kind of cheesecake cream cheesy topping with the strawberries on top of that, and then you put whipped cream on it. It's one of my favorite things to have. I've eaten it all the time, and I absolutely love it. And so of course I froze a bunch of strawberries because I'm gonna be making those probably throughout the summer. It's just one of our fun desserts that we really like to have. So I think all in all, I ended up with 9 quart bags of strawberries that are in the freezer, so I can pull out a quart bag, let it thaw out, and then I can use it in whatever fun recipes we have for strawberries. I also froze 2-gallon bags that ended up becoming my strawberry jam. And then I filled that big stock pot that you can see behind me with strawberries, and I made strawberry syrup too. I've never made strawberry syrup before, but I think it turned out pretty good, and it'll be perfect for like waffles and crepes. And I think ended up with 13 jars of the strawberry syrup and 12 jars of the strawberry jam. So one thing that I decided to try to do is I wanted to try my 2-ingredient bagels. So this is the next day that I filmed all this, that I started all my canning. And I had about a whole like colander full of strawberries kind of quote unquote left over that I didn't really know what to do with. So I decided to make some bagels for breakfast like we normally do. Well, this would have been Friday, so we decided to do bagels on Friday. And I actually added some strawberries to it. And oh my goodness, they turned out so good. They were delicious. And I think I'm totally going to make this again. It was just a way to kind of use up some of the strawberries. And so I added a little bit more flour than the recipe calls for to try to keep it from being sticky. It did not work. I should have added probably an extra like cup of flour, because the strawberries just added enough extra liquid that made it like kind of, you'll see when I'm rolling it out, is a little sticky. But they turned out really good, and I put some powdered sugar on top of them, and they were quite tasty, and all the kids absolutely loved them. And so it worked out really well, and definitely have a new recipe to try. But yeah, so throughout the summer, we tend to eat a lot more fresh food. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm always pulling from my pantry stock, because one thing that I am determined to do is have more of a quote unquote rotating pantry stock. So I generally, and also part of it too is we're so busy over the summer that I don't want to be running to the grocery store multiple times too. Not that I really do, but I think there's like that mental like labor that I have to do thinking about like what I need to get at the grocery store, that I think it's just easier for me to just be like, okay, the only thing I really buy is like our produce, our bread if I'm not making it, and just a few things like that, if that makes sense. So as you can see, they're starting to get a little they're very sticky, so my hands were like really covered in dough, but I think they turned out pretty good. Definitely going to try this again. And so I was really glad with the amount that we were able to prep. And I do plan on pretty much the end of summer is when our blackberries get ripe. And so we've actually been kind of cultivating a blackberry bush. And my hope is eventually I won't need to buy bulk fruit from the farm, but I do want to, and I might even start this month, depending on when. I'm kind of waiting for there they are. I'm so proud of them. They're so cute. I'm kind of waiting to hear from the local farm when they start getting their bulk fruit orders in, because I might start as soon as possible, since we have a lot of camping trips, or not a lot, but we have camping trips kind of around the time that I start preserving. Like I want to kind of get a handle on it before it gets too crazy. So the bulk of my summer I spend trying to start preserving things. Obviously, I'm trying to keep my garden going, and I do have a couple bell peppers that are almost ready to be picked, which I'm super excited about. Tomatoes are starting to get there. And my plan is to basically kind of work through my pantry and probably keep like a running list of things I'm getting low on. And I probably won't try to do a big shop or anything like that until maybe September, because honestly, we're just busy. You know, summer, I feel like I also want to kind of take a load off in summer too, if that makes sense. So they turned out amazing. I thought they looked so good, and they were so they were just delicious. I was so proud of them. And the kids ate them very quickly. They really enjoyed them, so that was great. But I feel like, and yes, we're doing grilled cheeses today because it is Friday. So I just did, and I threw some strawberries on their plates to have with it, because we have a lot of strawberries right now, so that's what we do. I mean, the kids seem to have no problem doing it too, because they absolutely loved eating them. So now I'm pulling out my jars. This is the first time that I have not used like brand new jars, I think, or one of the first times. So what I ended up doing is I kind of counted out jars. I pulled out a couple half pint jars too, and I actually had some leftover, I think it was syrup. So I just threw it in the half pint jars, and I threw it in the fridge because it can last up to, I think I saw like a month in the fridge. So I'm doing that to make sure I used up all of it. I also did wash all my jars and sterilized them in the dishwasher so that they are ready to go for canning. And so my goal over the summer, probably starting with now and depending on just kind of monitoring when things come ripe and when we start getting bulk fruit orders, is to kind of maybe take a day a week to can something. So my goal this year is I want to can applesauce, I want to can apple butter, I want to can apple pie filling. I also want to can peaches and apricots because those are delicious. I actually have some canned peaches still from last year and they are amazing. They were like perfectly ripe when we canned them. So like we've even bought like store-bought canned peaches and they do not compare to the homemade. So I'm really excited about kind of getting into this. But like I said too, I also am trying to use summer as also kind of like a time to take a break, and kind of during this season, it's generally kind of everything's more readily available with like fresh fruit and stuff that we just enjoy it more. And then as like the end of the summer goes along, we're going to be a lot more into like canning. I don't know that I'll be canning every day, but the way it is, I don't really know that I want to do like a whole big day where I'm just canning for 8 hours a day. It's more so I want to like can one thing and it could take a few hours. I have my Presto canner. I've showed it to you guys before, and there's all my jam it looks like. And I feel like just doing a little bit each week really helps me kind of store up for, you know, fall and winter without overwhelming myself, because I want to enjoy my summer too. Like summer to me is about fun, you know, going swimming, enjoying the warm weather, and just kind of spending time with my kids, especially now that they're home with school, and just really like building on those relationships. And that's what makes summer like really fun for me. So I really feel like, you know, I kind of got a good game plan for this summer and I'm really excited for it. So that's the jam. It's almost ready to go in the cans, and I think it turned out so good. And I totally forgot to film an outro for you guys. I'm sorry about that, but I will see you all in the next video. I hope you're still enjoying your summer. Bye-bye.